Hey loves, it's Ryan Woods, aka Lady MAGA USA, America's favorite race realist and defender of the European race. Let me put on my lip gloss. People often point out that blacks, who are 13% of the population, commit over 50% of murders in our country, not to mention robberies, stabbings, rapes, and looting. But actually that's not true. It's way worse than that. Yes, blacks are 13% of the population, but the murders and crimes are vastly committed by black men under 35, who are 3.5% of the American population. 3.5% of our population commit over 50% of violent murders and crimes.
Me as a black man in America, white people, I'm telling you and I'm telling you now, you ever even think to approach me, I too will poke you straight to the heart.
By the way, these statistics apply to white Western nations as well, such as the UK or Sweden. Let's start by zooming in on Minnesota. 1.6% of Minnesota's population is black men under 35. In 2021, 76% of murders were committed by 1.6% of the population. We worry about terrorist cells in our country, but we refuse to acknowledge the terrorism of young black men. This video is not about respectable blacks, of course, but y'all are not calling out your people. You should be aggressively calling them out, the way I, as a homo, call out the LGBTQIA+, child mutilators, perverts, and groomers. To all of you Con Inc. neocon grifters who refuse to be race realists, you're cowards. It's lamentable that a gay drag queen is one of the most base people on the internet. As you watch this video, ask yourself, do we have a racism problem in America or a problem race? You be the judge. And before you say, don't let them divide us and cause a race war. We're not trying to create a race war. We're trying to save lives and get justice. We've all been forced to watch the worship of criminals like George Floyd and other blacks harmed by white people who were usually defending themselves or others. We hear their names across establishment media over and over. Allow me to present to you the names of just a few of hundreds and hundreds of people murdered or terrorized by young blacks. 5-year-old Landon Hoffman was thrown off of a third-floor balcony by Emmanuel Aranda at the Mall of America in Minnesota. Aranda told the police he was at the mall looking for someone to kill, and he had 2 past convictions for assault at the same mall. Looks like he's part of that special 1.6% of the population of Minnesota. John Materna, a watermelon farmer in Memphis, Tennessee, was savagely murdered by a black teen, Demarion Tackett. I'll say his name. John Materna. 6-month-old baby Levi Cole Ellerb was set on fire and burned to death by Black Girl Magic Felicia Smith. I'll say his name. Levi Cole Ellerb. But it's not just whites who are victims of these savages. 8 young blacks ganged up and brutally murdered one 14-year-old black kid. You didn't hear about that, did you?
8 people murdered one 14-year-old black boy. So I'm trying to figure out, where's the outrage, black people? Oh, it ain't none though, because it don't really matter to y'all. It only cares when it's white on black crime.
There was a mass shooting in a Dallas school by future rocket scientist Tracy Haynes Jr., who sent 5 students to the hospital with gunshot wounds. You didn't hear about that either, did you?
Things that make you go.
In Aurora, Colorado, Kyrie Brown murdered Joseph and Jocelyn Rowland, a white couple with 5 children. I'll say their names, Joseph and Jocelyn Rowland. In Illinois, Melanie Yates was reading the Bible to her daughter when she was murdered by a stray bullet shot by 16-year-old future astronaut Zachariah Miles. I'll say her name, Melanie Yates. I could literally talk for 48 hours straight about the terrorism of young black men, but you get the idea. What's that old adage, never relax around blacks? And before you're tempted to give the typical emotional, anecdotal response of, but not all blacks, or I know a nice black family, tell those blacks to say something. If they're treated with racism, it's not white people's fault. It's the fault of the 3.5% of the population that they're not calling out. I know the majority of the people of the European race are terrified of being called racist because they have been bullied, browbeaten, and emasculated, but I hope and pray that at least you'll have the guts to share this video. Let me say what you won't. Oh, and President Trump, it would be super great if you could at least give a shout out and say the name of Austin Metcalf, who was stabbed in the chest and murdered by future community leader Carmelo Anthony. Anyway, my loves, pointing out factual realities is not racism, and the term racism has lost all relevance. Put on your lip gloss, conceal carry, and stay safe out there. And remember, it's 3.5 under 35.